Good morning, students. Let us know what happened in 100 Dresses Part 2. So, before going there, let us recollect what happened in Part 1. So, one family started living in America from Poland. Okay, and during those days, many people came from Poland and started living there in America. So, that family, that girl's name was Wanda Petrosky. And then when she entered the college, school, there were two friends, classmates, Peggy and Maddie. So both of them used to make fun of her, and they used to ask her about the dresses, how many dresses were there in that closet and all that. And Wanda felt really very bad about that, but she didn't comment about that. She did not tell anybody, and she used to always go back and sit there in the last bench very silently. She never used to laugh loudly also, and after school hours she used to go back and watch the people playing. At that time they used to make fun of her. So one day they were waiting for Wanda. She did not come, and 2 days already over, but nobody observed her absence. And that day when they went to school, they were eagerly waiting to know the result, who was going to get the prize for the dresses, designing the dresses competition. And finally they came to know that it was Wanda who got the prize, because by the time they entered the class, the entire windows and everywhere walls were completely filled with the 100 dresses. Each and everyone very beautiful dresses were there, and the teacher came and told that each and every piece is worth the prize. And she drew from room number 13, she drew 100 dresses, and that was Wanda. So this Peggy and Maddie, they both were just going through looking that, and they were really surprised seeing the beautiful dresses. And then what happened next is there in 100 Dresses Part 2. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. Attention class, everyone back to their seat. So now what happened? They were going around and seeing all the beautiful dresses designed by Wanda Petrosky. And then while at that time, Miss Mason received a letter, and it was from principal's room, and she read it, studied it thoughtfully for a while. She did not immediately burst out. Look at the way she was really very cool. Thought about that thoughtfully for a while, and then she clapped her hands and said all the students to go back to their places. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you. Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Wanda's father, was a matter of great importance. Everyone listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. So look at the way she is preparing the students to tell them without words that the letter carried something very important. Her body language told that students that that letter, which was written by Wanda's father, had a lot of importance. What are the gestures she did? First she waited till they go and settle in the classroom, in their places, and then adjusted the glasses slowly and deliberately, and her manner indicated that it was what was coming. This letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. So everybody got the information that it was something important what they are going to tell, and they were really very silent, listened very carefully about that. Now what was that letter? This is the one. Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jack also. Now we move away to big city. No more halak polak. No more ask why funny name. plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petrosky. So here we came to know the brother of Wanda Petrosky also, and father's name was Jan Petrosky. So now Wanda will not come to your school anymore. And not only Wanda, even her brother Jane also will not come. So he told the reason. Look at the way he told the reason. Now we move away to a big city. No more Hallak Pullak. What was that Hallak Pullak means? The words did not have any meaning there. It was just to tell you that something like nonsense or teasing them in that way. No more ask why funny name. So maybe he came to know that people were asking Wanda Petrosky about her funny name, and plenty of funny names will be there in the big city. So we are leaving. And then a deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Masson took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. Now look at that body language. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. So after reading the letter, everybody was very silent. And Miss Masson took off her glasses, blew on them, wiped them with her soft handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. She was not at all talking loudly. In a very, very cool voice, she started speaking to the classroom. Now what did she say? I am sure that none of the boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because of his or her name happened to be a long, unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said in a thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happened. Unfortunate and sad both. And I want you all to think about it. So what did she say? Look at the way she started talking to the children. She did not in any way told very angrily, why did you do that? What happened? Nothing like that. Look at the way how coolly she told. She told that I knew very well that you did not do anything deliberately just because a student had a long name or a funny name. That just happened thoughtlessly. Okay, without thinking that you are going to hurt somebody, maybe you told that. It's not intentionally. Okay, but whatever happened, that was unfortunate thing and sad thing. And I knew very well that all of you were feeling about that in the same way as I am feeling. Now, the first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. Next, what happened? The first period was study period, no teaching period. They were very seriously reading, and Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not concentrate because her mind was completely on what happened and that Wanda left the school and all that. She was thinking about that because whatever happened, she also felt that all this happened because Peggy used to make fun of Wanda and she did not like it. So she wanted to tell Peggy so many times that don't do that, don't do that. But she could not tell that. At least what she was telling, at least Peggy did not know that what she was doing was not correct. She accepted that. But what happened here, she knew very well. I Maddie thought that what she was doing is wrong, but I kept quiet. I am really worse. So she could put herself in Vanda's shoes. That means she knew very well how she would feel if the people were making fun of her, just like Vanda. So she could keep herself in her feet and think how Vanda must have been felt when everybody was talking to her like that. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Vanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, she, Maddie, had to do something. She had to find Vanda Petrovsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Vanda she had won the contest, that they thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. That's what Maddie wanted to do. If only she had told Vanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings, that she did not want. It was Peggy who was doing that, and even Peggy was also not doing purposefully. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy to see what Peggy was doing. But Peggy was very seriously reading. She did not look at Maddie. So she wanted to go to Vanda's place and wanted to tell her that she won 100 dresses, and maybe she had not yet moved away from that place. Maybe she was there. Maybe she could tell them. So she wanted to go there and tell her that she won the contest. Now, yes children, here is the comprehension check. What did Mr. Petrovsky's letter say? Is Miss Mason angry with the class, or is she unhappy and upset? How does Maddie feel after listening to the note from Vanda's father? And what does Maddie want to do? Okay, so these are the 4 questions, and I think it's very easy. You can answer them. Okay. Now let us go to the remaining part of the story. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left the town or not." So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really alright. So she felt really very happy when Peggy also told the same thing. Let us go and see whether Vanda was there or not. The 2 girls hurried out of the building, up the street towards Boggins Heights, the part of the town that was such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp and dismal. So it was telling about the weather, which was drizzling, raining, so all that mud everywhere and not at all dry, wet, and so they were going to that place to find whether Vanda Petrovsky was there still or not. Well, at least, said Peggy gruffly, I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense of no, we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb and gay. Look how she can draw. So now Peggy opened. What did she say? I never made fun of her, telling that she was a foreigner. No. And did not make fun of her, even her name also. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her. What Peggy thought was that she was such a dumb girl that she did not even get the idea that the friends were making fun of her. She did not even get that idea. That's what Peggy thought. And oh, look at the way she drew everything. They were really surprised to see the beautiful dresses what she made. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Vanda. That was the only thing what was there in her mind. We have to see Vanda now. And she wanted to tell her that They were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was and pleased not to move away and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. So she wanted to tell that. See, both of us are going to fight with anyone who you all are making fun of. Wanda. She just wanted to tell that. The two girls hurried on. They hopped to get to the top of the hill before dark. I think that's where the Petrovskis live, said Maddie, pointing to the little white house. Wisps of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. The house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. It reminded Maddie of Vanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. So looking at the area where Petrovskis were living, which was very small, which was clean but very shabby. That reminded her of the dress what she was wearing, which was a blue cotton dress, very shabby but very clean. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went round to the backyard and knocked there. Still there was no answer. So they went and knocked at the door to see if anybody was there so that they would get some response, but nobody was there. And then let us know what happened. There was no doubt about that. The Petrovskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? So there is no doubt that Vanda Petrovsky and father and the brother left that area. Now she started thinking, how could they ever make amends? Means the change. They already made her feel very sad. How can they go and tell her that they did not mean that? How can they tell her that she was really very sorry for whatever had happened? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she is gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Look at the way she was. See, after doing something wrong, we started looking at the way how we can correct that. So what Peggy was telling, maybe I was always asking her how many dresses you have in your closet. So when Peggy was telling that, asking that questions, this Vanda, she got that idea. Each time when they asked, they were getting different ideas how to make the dresses. That's what Peggy thought and told Maddie. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there was anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night, she could not get to sleep. She thought about Vanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. So continuously she was thinking, why this Vanda Petrovsky left, what happened, why? And she was continuously thinking about that. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Vanda, but from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. So that was the decision what Maddie has taken. So now as Vanda left, she could not do anything. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. So all these days she was standing behind, but she did not tell anything. So she decided that she was not going to do. She was going to picking up someone when somebody was feeling very bad because they were making fun of her because of funny looking or because of the name, whatever may be. If anybody is teasing anyone, she was not going to keep quiet. She was going to tell them that what they were doing was not correct, and even at the cost of Peggy's friendship. She just wanted to stand by that person and tell others that not to do that. So with that we ended second part. Now look at the questions, comprehension check questions. What excuses does Peggy think up for her behavior? Why? What was Maddie's thoughts as they go to Boggins Heights? And why does Vanda's house remind Maddie of Vanda's blue dress? And what does Maddie think hard about? What important decision does she come to? So these questions, and before that part 1 questions, 4 questions, 8 questions. I want you to read the lesson one more time and then answer those questions. Okay children? Now thank you and read the lesson well.